Hello, Tom. Here we are.
Yes.
Good morning, Tom. It's good morning for us.
Yes, it is.
Good morning for Tom. And I don't have my damn phone, so I won't be able to tell if everything goes. Facebook said we went live on yours thing, so that's good.
Yep.
Oh, God. Ready for this?
Sure.
Ready to rock and roll?
Yep.
Because, it's always been said that you wanted the best, you got the best. The hottest band in the world, Kiss!
Yes, which is what the name of our episode is.
Oh, shit, I ain't got that up. I don't even have that up. I usually run that shit, don't I? There we go. Yes. Well, let's get into let's go ahead and get into the show before we get, this will be like one of our shortest openings ever, or pre-openings ever. You know that?
I know.
Let's go ahead and
let's get everything going here.
Yeah, let's get going so we can just get in the show and get her going.
Yep.
Welcome to Use and Views. I'm Scott.
I'm Kim.
And this is episode 109, where we're going to talk about Kiss A&E Biography Part 1.
Yes.
Better known as Kiss-tory.
Yes.
And Tom is already letting us know in the chat that he is wearing his Kiss shirt tonight for work.
Nice.
I know we usually go into some. We don't have no movie news tonight. We don't have no music or any other type of news. Mainly, well, except for the fact that Kel, Chris, and Swede and Dave all got to go see a live show.
Yes,
they saw Seven Dust, and man, that was some great goddamn. That was some. I love all the photos from it, and Hannah's watching Black Widow
and listening
to the podcast. LOL. You paid the $29 for Black Widow. Why? Wait, it will come out and be free on Disney Plus. Why pay for it? I didn't even pay. We didn't even pay for Cruella. I wanted to see that one really bad, but I'm like, I'm not paying $30 fucking for something that's going to be eventually back on Disney Plus for free, which I already paid for. I'm sorry, but after pretty much what HBO is doing with all the Warner Bros. Stuff,
Oh yeah, Marvel's life,
right? Look at HBO with all the DC or all the Warner Bros. Stuff, right? HBO Max,
yeah,
right? Well, we get it for free because it's part of our cable package, and we can watch anything that's coming out.
Oh yeah.
That Warner Bros. Got released. We can watch it straight from our own home. Well, it don't cost us extra.
No.
It's just, which I think is where Disney is fucking up.
Yeah, I know.
In my opinion. But then again, people pay for it.
Yeah.
And Disney looks smart.
Yeah.
And Tom he's watching it in the theater this weekend with his wife. Right on.
Nice. Hey, so before we get into it, you want to get some basic housekeeping done?
Oh, yes. See, that's your job. Remind the basic housekeeping. So let's go ahead and get into basic housekeeping.
Thank you to our Patreons, Luna Girl and Dragon Buddy, Don Dillis Snooch Silsky, Big Brady Big Levin, Hannah, Mikey, Brindley, and Case.
If you'd like to join our Patreon, go to patreon.com, search in the creator bar, Used and Abused Pod.
Check out our pod family, the Sidebar Cantina, the Escape Pod, Swede Studios, Big Swede's Excellent Adventure, and Tactical Swede.
And real quick, we're going to sidebar onto this real quick, hence the name Sidebar Cantina. But I just want to say congratulations to both Gabe and Jason. They are now part of the Red 5 Network where Don and Brady are also the Escape Pods also. I want to congratulate them for getting to be a part of the Red 5 Network. Congratulations, David Jason.
Yes.
Don't forget to smash that like button. If you are new to the channel, click subscribe and click that bell to be notified when we go live and upload new videos.
You can find Used and Abused Pod on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Tumblr.
Our email is usedandabusedpod@gmail.com, and that "and" is spelled out AND.
Website is usedabusedpod.com.
And that's all one word.
Yes.
Go to tpublic.com, search for Used Abused Pod, all lowercase, for our merch store. You can also find our merch store link on our social media and website.
All right. Housekeeping done.
Housekeeping done.
You were saying about Seven Dust and...
Well, no, I was saying that Kel, Dragon Buddy, or Chris, and Swede and Dave all went to the Seven Dust show, and the fuck was that?
It's a car passing.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. You got the front window open.
Yes, the front window is open to give the tree or trees that we are growing in our house vitamin D.
Right. Literally growing in our house. They're not going in the ground until October.
Exactly.
Outside. So
exactly.
they get to grow in the house for at least the hot part of the year.
Yes.
That way they can give them a chance to nourish.
Yes.
And survive in the cooler months. And there's Cal. Hey, Cal.
Hi.
So, for me, and since we're talking about Kiss tonight, I mean, we really don't got much more to add on from what we did this morning.
No.
You know, I mean, well, I guess I should real quick, in case those of you who weren't part of this morning. Yes, Tom. We're growing them from, they literally started as seeds, and they're slowly growing up.
Yes.
They're in a pot.
Yeah, they're in a
big ass pot.
Yeah.
So once, like I said, once we get about October, as long as they don't outgrow the pot, by October I'll go and plant them outside.
Yes.
That way, we're not planting them in the middle of the damn heat.
Yes.
Kel, don't worry about
it.
Good Lord, 5 o'clock in the morning. It's early.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, I was shocked we didn't friggin' doze off.
Exactly.
Don't worry about it. Oh, Lord. But good morning, Kelly. So, for me, Kiss.
Yes.
I didn't know Kiss in the 70s. Even though I was, we'll come across, I'm going to turn 50 this year.
Yes.
Good fucking God. Actually, wait, before we go there, I want to stop that for a minute because I actually want to talk about why. Part of the reason why we didn't do a show last week was the holiday weekend. We just couldn't. We were out of my mom and dad, out with my parents, right? And we had a great time.
Yes, we did.
And so that's part of the reason why we didn't do a show. And then last Wednesday, I was not a part of the Escape Pod show in the chat because of the fact that I saw on Facebook one of my best friend from high school that his 22-year-old daughter had passed away.
Yeah.
And it hit me. I mean, Hannah can say, yeah, I called her, I called her that evening because it hit home.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said earlier in the previous episode, the race episode, when you're a parent, you're not supposed to bury your children.
No, you're not.
And then a lot of it also made me think back to an incident, which I need to find that picture one of these days and put it up on, like, even on the Patreon page, just so it could be seen. Like, honestly, how close I probably did come to losing my daughter.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And it hit home, and so at that point I had, it made me just like, screw this. I need to call and say, hey, I love you.
Oh yeah.
Because it made me think of also, I know a lot of people, not everybody's like into country music or whatnot, but it also makes me think about that song by Garth. I think it was on his first or second album,
Uh-huh.
if tomorrow never comes.
Oh, yeah.
Will she know how much I love her? And,
Oh, yeah.
and that goes along with you, and that goes along with Hannah, and it also went along with your late sister.
Yeah.
And that was why every freaking day I try, as much as or every time I talk to my kids, I tell them I love them.
Mm-hmm.
Regardless, that way, because our tomorrows are not guaranteed.
No, they're not.
I mean, even my tomorrow's not guaranteed.
Nope.
As much as I want, I can't wait to be in Nevada in September. At the end of September for the wedding.
Yeah.
Again, my tomorrow's not guaranteed.
No, it's
Nobody's
not.
tomorrow's guaranteed.
No, it's not.
And it sucks. I mean, it's just the way this world, the way it works.
Oh, yeah.
And anyways, I just wanted to, just why I wasn't really involved in the Escape Pod last week.
Yeah.
But man, they had a great show last week. They did a thing about how to start a podcast. They had a bunch of their the Red Five Network guys on to talk about how on how to start a podcast. And then I was watching the cool thing about most of these shows is you can go back and have the live chat pop up at the same time.
Oh, yeah.
And I was seeing in there that Dragon Buddy also was, I think, on the phone with Kelly's or with Luna Girl's brother, I think.
Yeah.
Or his brother. But anyways, trying to talk about fucking starting a podcast. How great is that?
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, and then Jess and Just Jen, they're talking about starting a podcast too.
Yeah.
So it's crazy. It's like, oh my God, how many more podcasts, are we gonna get? And then I know Tom and his brother are going to be getting the Orange and Vet show started.
Yes.
Which I can't wait for that one.
Oh, I know.
I mean, I can't. And honestly, I can't wait for anybody that's in our pod family to have a podcast.
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
I mean, and because I mean, you didn't get to see the episode the week before with on the Sidebar. Well, it wasn't Sidebar Canteen, but it was Big Sweet on Sweet's Excellent Adventure. He got brought Kelly on, right, and they just pretty much had this fucking 2-hour fucking back and forth, with really no topics at all. And then Tom got involved too, but it was like all of a sudden like 2 hours just went by quick, and I understand it because there's times where we'll be just going along, also like, holy fuck, we're at 2 hours.
Yeah.
Like how the hell, because we don't. I mean, the clock is up there on the computer, showing that we've been live for Fireside chat. Yes, thank you, Kel. We've been live for.
What Tom said?
Hey, there's DB. Oh, dude, if you're coming to Nevada, Tom says, if you're coming to Nevada in September, maybe we can meet up at the Boise State versus Wolfpack game. Unfortunately, that is on the. If it's in Reno, that's on the other side of the state from where I'll be at. Unfortunately.
How's it going?
Going good, DB. How you doing? But anyway, so yeah, I mean it's gonna be great. Everybody's gonna be starting podcasts. It seems like.
Oh yeah.
But anyways, I was just gonna say, I mean, Kelly, Luna Girl definitely could be a host of a podcast.
Oh yeah.
I mean, this is because I saw her how with her and Nick how it went.
Oh yeah.
This is fucking awesome.
Oh yeah.
But anyways, let's get into this shit.
Yes.
Let's get into Kiss.
Yes.
So again, like I was stating earlier,
Hector's here.
Hey Hector, I'm gonna be hitting 50 here soon.
Yes.
Eventually, sometime this year.
Yeah, we won't specify.
So that pretty much means I was born in 71.
Yes.
Same year Jeff Gordon was born.
Yes.
And just want to point that out.
Oh, I know.
Anyways, I did not know Kiss. I did not know of Kiss in the 80s. Dave Martin Jr.'s favorite band. Yeah, I don't think so.
And this is in September.
Okay, Hannah. Enough out of you. We do not want to come across my birth date. Good Lord. We don't celebrate that shit anymore, remember? I'm like forever 25.
Oh, really?
Really?
Since when?
Since almost 25 years ago. I hate my fuck. Anyway, so I didn't know Kiss in the 70s. I had no clue about Kiss. God damn it.
I knew she was going to put it.
Oh, shit. Fine. Her birthday's January 9th, 1993.
Yeah, it is.
Kim's is December 17th, 1974. Yeah.
So
and we got all cleared.
Yeah. I was born a week before Christmas. Yes.
Yeah, we're gonna get. Well, unfortunately, we're really not gonna get into that. I'm right out. Fuck. Oh Lord. Good God. Anyways, get back into this. Otherwise, it's not gonna be a Kiss episode.
No.
It's gonna be an episode about all of our birthdays. Fuck. Oh God. Anyway, so yeah, I didn't know of Kiss in the 70s. I know later on I found out my uncle had records. But I didn't know nothing. I didn't know anything about Kiss until they had that Kiss Meets the Phantom in the Park on TV.
Yeah.
And it was a TV movie, and I remember watching it as a kid. I don't remember how I interacted with it. But I didn't put two and two together.
Yeah.
I just thought Kiss were a bunch of fucking movie stars.
And to answer your question, yes, Tom, we do remember them taking the makeup off, but that's going to be covered more in detail on the next episode.
Definitely be in part 2.
Yeah. Right now, this one just covers the 70s.
Pretty much 1971
to 1979.
Well, yeah, roughly.
Actually,
no, we started 1948.
Yeah, we started 1948.
But it pretty much going to go to 1979 is where this part 1 goes to, which is really, a lot during Kiss's heyday.
Oh, his is December 30th.
December 30th. Jesus Christ.
Wow.
Well, and Kel's 111, 1977. Well, then. Okay. All right. I'm going to write all this shit down now.
I know.
Good thing we got the live chat.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord. That's cool. See, I mean, so yeah, like I said, I'm the
Dragon Buddies is 877.
See, I said it. I'm the oldest one in the whole pod family.
That's true. Because you're 71.
Yeah, but let's go. I mean, you want to get into 71? We can go into music of 71. There are some great fucking albums that came out in 71.
Yeah, I know there is.
But anyways, we're not talking about that. We're talking about Kiss.
Kiss. Yes. Oh, Hector's is 10/25/1975.
Wow. So Hector's living closer to you and my sister's age.
Yeah.
Or my sister's era.
Yep.
No matter, we're also Gen X.
Yeah, we are.
But it gets overshadowed by my anniversary on the 9th. Oh. Yeah. Oh, speaking of, and what is today?
Today.
13th. Holy shit, 12 days.
Yeah, 12 days.
7 years.
Yep.
Good Lord.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, Gen X.
Exactly.
And really, when it comes down to Gen X, it's really is one of those things where the music gap. I mean, because for me, I do like stuff in the 70s.
Oh yeah.
I do like. I mean, hey, most people don't admit it, but I do like some of the disco stuff.
Oh yeah.
But I was a kid at that time. So that was the music that was on the radio.
Yeah.
That I was listening to.
Oh yeah.
So, and it wasn't like I know when we lived in McMinnville. I mean, it was 77. We moved to McMinnville. And I was McMinnville, Oregon, and I didn't. I only listened to what was on radio, and I don't remember Kiss ever coming on.
Hi.
Hey, Don. Don is joining us on Facebook. And then Tom also says his wife's birthday is on September 6th. Most of the time it's on the first day of football, so there's always an issue. Oh, heck, back in the 70s, I mean, when we started school, right after Labor Day.
Yeah.
If Labor Day was the 7th, we started school on my birthday.
Yeah.
Or that first week was, which was nice because most of the time in grade school, there wasn't that opportunity to really celebrate my birthday because of where it fell in the beginning of the school year.
And
I loved it.
And mine,
I had to fucking deal with it.
Well, yeah, same here.
You know, I mean,
because mine was 4 months into the school year. So, and being it before
DB hits it right. Most of them are super eclectic and listen to everything from classical to new stuff and some of the new stuff.
Yes, a lot of times hubby's birthday falls on the first day of preseason. At least he actually watches football.
You know, okay, so let's sidebar into football real quick. Since I mean, we're in July, we're getting close to preseason. We're in training camps.
Yeah, we are.
You know, we're getting close to preseason. We're getting close to the season starting.
Yes.
Which I definitely don't think I'm gonna. I can't wait to watch the banter in the sidebar cantina again this year.
Oh yeah.
Because I'm not gonna be a part of it.
No.
I enjoyed that 1 year doing it, but yeah, whatever. Fantasy football is not a thing for me. You know, I dipped my toe in the water. It was fun. I mean, don't get me wrong, it was fun to do, but yeah. Anyways,
back to Kiss.
Yes, let's stay on topic.
Yeah, let's.
Not easy for me to do. So, like I was saying, I didn't know Kiss in the 70s. I knew nothing of Kiss in the 70s. And the only thing I knew of was the Kiss Meets the Phantom in the Park, their TV movie they did. That's all I knew of them. So 1983, 84, actually. We're back in 81. It's probably about 1984. Yeah, 84. No, 82. We moved back to McMinnville. I mean, Battle Mountain. No, 81. God damn it. Get my fucking years mixed up. Fuck. In 83, there's this, I meet this guy. He's a high school student this time. And he's pretty much friends with my parents' friends who have been pretty much family friends for us since, especially for me, since I was pretty much born.
Well, yeah.
Almost, you know, a little give or take in there. You know, but anyways, I went over to his place and he had a fucking double deck fucking cassette tape holder. Right. And we're just going through a bunch of fucking cassettes and he's like, well, you ever heard Kiss? I'm like, oh, you mean the actors?
Yeah.
He's like, no, the band. I'm like, well, not really. And so he had a couple of their albums. We got chatting and I was looking through this stuff and I was like, well, just make me a tape.
Well, yeah.
So on this tape, he'd put, I've had enough, Into the Fire, Heaven's on Fire, and Burn Bitch Burn.
Yeah.
All off of Kiss Animalize.
Yeah, which is probably an 80s album.
It is an 80s, but
yeah.
I'm talking about how I first got into
Kiss. And that's how you got first. And I just knew of them. I didn't know of their music. I just knew of them because everybody always said, oh, they're the characters of the cat, the spaceman, the demon, and
Star Child.
And the Star Child. So I knew of them. I just didn't know their music.
Right. Well, I mean, and partially due to a lot of stuff, you know, Kiss had that, you know, that flack where a lot of people still, you know, refer to the K.I.S. even though they don't do that.
No.
At all. And you know, stuff, that's how everybody thinks it's an acronym, and they think it means Kids in Satan's Service or Knights in Satan's Service.
Tom says, my mom overheard me listening to Kiss music once the first song.
She heard with Christine 16.
It didn't go well.
That's all the Love Gun.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Jackie Boy says my cousin was a fanatic. I found the baseball cards at like 7 and 8.
7 or 8.
I made my dad get a couple albums to listen to on my record player. Probably like 85. Yeah, see?
Yeah.
Which, you know, I mean, 85 would have been the release of their album Asylum.
Yeah.
Which is actually the first Kiss album I owned. You know, but anyway, so he records me all these songs. And I mean, I got Kiss, Twisted Sister, Crocus, Scandal, I think was on there. I'm trying to remember. I know, I mean, there's a bunch of.
If I have to sneeze, I don't think they want me to sneeze in the microphone.
Dude, you just slowly backing up made me wonder, are you about ready to fart?
No, I feel like if I have to sneeze, I don't want to sneeze in the microphone and blow ears and blow speakers.
I mean, I was waiting to hear the
No, it's not that.
or a
No, I just.
oh god. Anyway, so that's how I got into Kiss, and then over time, and actually, I went back after he recorded me a lot of this stuff, and I started looking through his cassette tapes to see what he had, and that's where I first came across Motley Crue Shout the Devil.
Oh yeah.
He showed it to me, and I'm like, what are these, a bunch of chicks?
Yeah.
I did. I'm looking at the fucking cover. They're decked out in makeup.
Yeah.
They got this long hair. I mean, I got my hair longer now too, right? I'm looking at them going, what are these bunch of girls? He's like, no, they're guys. I went, the fuck? I know, I got ready cracking up. Like, what the fuck? And so he plays the very first song. And again, this is Kiss, not Motley Crue, but we're just kind of going into it real quick. He hits that fucking burst. Thank you, Kel. Yes, please do not forget to smash that like button. There it goes. And DB says Hulk smash. Just don't Hulk smash your screen or your mouse, or don't ruin something.
Yeah.
But so in the beginning plays, good always overpowered evil, be strong and shout at the devil, and then dun dun dun, like, oh hello.
Yeah.
Shout, and then Vince, shout at the devil. I'm like, okay, cool. I want to borrow this. Well, he like, maybe I shouldn't let you. The fuck, you just play it for me. Why can't I borrow it? Right? Well, because there's a song here I don't think your mom will be happy about. Well, because you go in the beginning, shout the devil, looks to kill. The number 4 track on there is a song called Bastard.
Yeah.
So, but he did let me borrow it. I listened to it, fell in love with it, and
the rest is history.
The rest is crew history.
Yeah.
But anyways, we're not here for crew history. We're about history.
Yes, we're about history.
As time went on, I met a lot more Kiss fans, or people that enjoyed Kiss.
Yeah.
So I got to hear a lot of stuff from the 70s. And then I also, after I was constantly joining BMG or RCA and Columbia House to get all the free fucking albums you can.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
That because they give you those books, and then in those books they would have all these friggin' they would give you the whole catalog that they had.
First saw the band Hanson, I thought
you're a bunch of chicks. Hanson.
And Kel says LOL.
Bop bip bip bop boo bop dee da do boo bop bip bip ba do.
Quagmire in Family Guy. No.
Quagmire,
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, and yeah, so as time went on, I got to listen to like Kiss, Hotter Than Hell, Dressed to Kill, Alive One, Destroyer, Love Gun, Rock and Roll Over. Somewhere's Under His Life too. I think it's right. Anyways, Dynasty, Unmasked.
Yep.
I'll probably fucking this all up. The Elder.
Yeah.
But also I started collecting Kiss. I was collecting a lot of their 80s stuff, where I had my first album by them was Asylum, which unfortunately this is not part of this episode. But anyways, I mean, and then of course I was buying the Circus magazines, the Metal Edges, Hit Parader, taking out articles, taking out the posters of not only Crew but of Kiss, of Lita Ford.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, I know.
Hey,
I know.
Lita was Lita, man.
I know.
Lita is, I mean, I know everybody's all gets all giddy over fucking Joan Jett.
Yeah.
From the, like the girls from the Runaways. Nah, dude. It's fucking Lita for me.
Yeah.
Lita will always be. I mean, my first love obviously was Princess Leia.
Yeah.
And my teenage love was Lita.
Yeah.
But hey, yeah, DB. Lita is a goddess. That's for damn sure.
Ford is.
Lita Ford is a smoke show. Oh, hell yeah. But anyways, so this show starts out, and actually I want to jump through some articles that came up before the show came out.
Yes.
Because these are some interesting things, because a lot of this does contain to what happens in the show. But I think before we could jump on those, I do want to talk about the beginning of the show a little bit, where the show starts. It starts right at the very beginning, at Rogers Arena in Vancouver, Canada.
Yep.
On the final tour.
Yep.
Then they go into like a time lapse video, which I love these time lapse videos.
Oh,
when they
I
show
do
the
too.
setting up of the stage.
Oh yeah.
Motley Crue did the same thing. I'm going to do a lot of comparisons because, unfortunately, there's a lot of shit where Motley Crue did a lot of copying, or both bands did stuff.
Yeah.
But they showed this time lapse where they're setting up the stage, and then the fans are diving in. And I love it.
Oh yeah.
Crue, the one the Crue did was really cool because they did show the stage being set up, sound check, then the fans coming in, and then lights out, and played the whole show. Obviously in time lapse, and then showed them tearing it down.
Yeah.
They're a little bit different, but hey, whatever.
Candace
Cameron.
Yeah.
So then, so we're showing the fans entering the arena, the Rogers Arena, Vancouver, Canada. Like I said, it's just a time lapse video. After 50 years, and this pops up on the screen. It says, after 50 years of record-setting tours, America's #1 gold record award-winning group of all time, Kiss is embarking on their final tour, and the final tour into the road tour. Right?
Yes, I need to reread. Yeah.
Is that what it said?
Yeah, that's what it said.
All right. So then it jumps to Israel, which
that's where Gene was born.
Right. I know. I was about ready to say Haifa. I'm not even gonna try, so I apologize. But anyways, Gene was born in Israel in 1949 as Haim.
Yes. Oh.
Case is crawling. Good job, Case.
Yes.
Except, how come I don't have a fucking video of this? Cool. And at what Gene said, was 6 years old, roughly about 6 years old. His dad left.
Yeah, his dad left. So him and his mom. And in 1958, him and his mom moved to New York. And they didn't speak any English. So how it was so cool how he ended up learning how to speak English. He just popped on the TV and listened to the music.
Right. And then it jumps into Paul real quick. I'll send it later. Thank you, Hannah. And we jump into Paul Stanley. He's talking about Queens, New York, growing up there, at being an outcast.
Yeah,
because his family is Jewish,
and he lived in an Irish neighborhood.
Right, but he also he did live in an Irish neighborhood, and his family came over during the Holocaust. And he said he remembers, relatives having numbers on their arms.
He said it.
He talked about it.
Yeah, he said, I grew up with people with numbers on their arms.
Oh, I know, right? Fucking crazy. And then after we get kind of this little tidbit, about how he felt like an outcast in that area. I mean, obviously you're a Jewish person in an Irish neighborhood. Plus he was born with a deformed ear.
Yes.
Or a deformity where he can't hear out of his right ear. And so he got picked on, got bullied.
Yeah. And
because of the ear. I mean, unfortunately, it's the same thing,
And Gene felt like an outcast as well, too. Because, I mean, he's over here in America now.
Well, he can't speak English.
So, yeah.
Right. So, yeah, I mean, they both felt like they're outcasts. I mean, and it's kind of ironic that later on they would come together.
Yeah.
And really what brought them together was actually what got them both involved in music. Gene, talked about he listened to, the radio, listened to Chubby Checker, Chuck Berry, Jackie Wilson, I mean, he's naming all these artists, and then what happens? We have an invasion.
Yes.
In this country.
Beatles.
Okay, well, just jump right to it and just go, the Beatles.
Yeah.
Like it's not that big of a deal.
Well, it was the Beatles Invasion, which is what Paul listened to.
Well, so did Gene.
Yeah.
Because all of a sudden, like Paul said, here were these four guys that looked like freaking friends, and they showed clips of the Beatles, you know, of them being goofy and shit when they first came to America.
Yeah.
And yeah, you know, and they're like, okay. And Gene's like, I want to do this job.
Yeah.
And Paul went out, got guitar lessons, and started at 16, started learning how to play guitar, started writing songs. Gene was pretty much doing the same thing.
Only his mom got him a bass.
Right. His mom got him a replica of Paul McCartney's bass.
Yeah.
So, you know, and so then we jump to present day New York. Well, present day of the filming of this. And they walk into Electric Lady Studios, which I thought was ironic because what Paul said right there, oh, it's so much easier to get in this place now.
Yeah.
Well, because back then they were nobodies.
Well, yeah, and they wanted to become somebody because Electric Lady Studios was built for artists like Jimi Hendrix.
Well, it's Jimi Hendrix is where Jimi Hendrix recorded all his albums at.
And then other artists just walked right to it.
Yeah, I mean, they showed Bowie, they showed Alice Cooper did stuff there. So, and in 1972, and this jumps really quick, I know it does, but it's just the way it jumps in the show. Anyways, Gene and Paul meet before around 1968, 69, 70, somewhere's in there. They don't really give you a year when they met, but they pretty much came down and, you know, Paul played a song. Gene's like, oh yeah, that's pretty good. And then Gene played a song to Paul, and I guess Paul didn't really like it. And then Gene pops off because they're obviously doing a current interview, and Gene says, at that moment he learned I'm an asshole.
Well, I think they said that it was a friend that brought them together because
it was Steve Carell, who ended up being the guitar player, or Cornell, who was the guitar player in Wicked Lester.
Yeah, said that.
But he was friends with Gene.
Gene needed to meet this other person.
But, he was friends with Gene and also friends with Paul.
Yeah, and said they need to meet each other because both of them have the songwriting ability.
Right, and which is funny, and they didn't bring this up in this scene, right? But what I thought was funny in previous interviews with Gene and Paul, right, is they've always talked about how, okay, the Beatles, right, that they both wrote when they learned about each other, because Gene thought he was the only other guy besides the Beatles that could write music.
Yeah.
And Paul said pretty much thought the same thing. Then when they got together, oh, you write songs too? Let me hear what you got, kid. Yeah, not bad. And then Gene would play his, and Paul would like, the hell was that?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But anyway, so 1972 they start looking at Lester.
Yeah.
They go in the studio at Electric Lady. They get what they call static time. What do they call it? Fuck.
I can't remember it.
Anyways, it's pretty much where
you wait around for a session to open
5
up.
to 6 hours for sessions to open up after artists get done. So I mean, and at that time they saw, you know, like artists like, you know, they didn't see Stevie Wonder in there recording his album Superstitious.
Yes.
So I mean, just, you know, there's some big fucking names besides Hendrix.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But anyway, so they go in there and they record it, and they get a record deal.
Yeah, they do.
They sign a contract with Epic Records as Wicked Lester.
Yeah.
And they went back and got ready to listen to the final product.
And it was
and
like
Paul literally said, it was
spread out. It was it was torn apart. It just didn't. It
was all over the place.
So
I mean, it's like they said in there, if you know if a hit song was on the radio that had a flute, like Jethro Tull, then they would add a flute. Then Paul said, if a hit song next had a ukulele, we made a song with a ukulele in it.
Yeah, and he said by the end of it, it was watered down.
It was watered down, not what him and Gene wanted.
So it was basically they refer to as a generic sound.
Right. It was a generic sound. And so Gene and Paul
didn't want it.
Right. So they go back to the guys at Wicked Lester and say, okay, we're breaking up the band and we're firing y'all. And they're like, no, we have a record contract.
And then that's when Gene and Paul
said, fine, we quit. You
put
quiet.
I know. I meant quit.
Okay. So this is where we're going to get into this, because next we go to a commercial break pretty much. And as we come back, it shows present day LA.
Yes, it does.
And it pops up on the screen, Ace Frehley and Peter Criss declined to participate in the creation of this documentary and does not endorse the views in this program.
Now,
the clips of their interviews were pre-recorded from previous interviews throughout the years. Now, before we go to the Woolworth and move on here, I want to go back to
the article that
this article I got from Blabbermouth.
Yeah.
Where
it'll explain a little bit more.
And it was actually an article written for Ultimate Classic Rock. But Paul Stanley spoke to Ultimate Classic Rock about the lack of involvement of Peter Criss and Ace Frehley in Kiss's new A&E documentary biography, Kissery, which is set to premiere with a 2-night event on June 27th, June 28th. Stanley says Frehley and Criss sound bites during the documentary come from archival interviews because both wanted to be paid and have, and I quote, final editing rights, end quote, in order to be part of the project. In addition, Criss would not grant permission for the documentary makers to use the song Beth, which he co-wrote in the film.
It's sad, but that kind of fits the whole dynamic, Stanley said. We did the best we could. We tried numerous times in all different ways to have them part of it. But this idea of final editing and money and this and that, it was like, I quote, no, your involvement doesn't matter. Or no, your involvement doesn't warrant that, end quote. And who ultimately loses out in the situation like this? They do.
The fans.
Yeah, the fans do.
And I quote again, I don't really want to trash those guys, Stanley continued, because we wouldn't. Okay, let's try that again. I quote, I don't really want to trash those guys because we wouldn't be here today if they hadn't been in the band. And we wouldn't be here today if they were, and if they still were, Stanley continued. Last September, Frehley confirmed during the appearance on Sirius XM's Trunk Nation with Eddie Trunk that he had been approached by the Kiss documentary producers about taking part in the film. And I quote, they offered me a small fee to be involved with it, and I turned him down. I thought that he was embarrassing because I know how much money they're going to make on it. So either share the wealth or c'est la vie. So I decided not to be involved, but they have plenty of old footage of me, and they'll probably use that and get by. But it won't be the same as if they get current footage. Unfortunately, I decided that the money that they offered me wasn't anywhere near what I felt I deserved. So I turned it down. The footage you're going to see of me in this documentary is only going to be old footage, end quote.
Criss first...
And that was Ace Frehley telling Eddie Trunk.
Yeah. And Criss first left Kiss in 1980. Since then, he's worked with other bands and released solo albums. He's teamed up with Kiss again for a reunion tour in the 1990s and most recently in 2004. He was replaced by Eric Singer.
In addition to playing drums in Kiss, Peter also provided lead vocals for a number of the band's most popular and memorable songs, including Beth, Black Diamond, and Hard Luck Woman. Criss, who turned 75 last December. Actually, but no, that was last December. Sorry, played what was being billed as his final U.S. concert in June 2017 at the Kennedy Room in New York City. In a 2014 issue of Rolling Stone magazine, Stanley and Criss sparred over Beth, which holds the distinction of being Kiss's highest charting single in the U.S., having reached position number 7 on the Billboard Hot 100 chart back in 1976. Criss claims to have co-written the song with the late Stan Pendridge, while Criss and Pendridge were in the band Chelsea. In the song's original version, the title name was Beck, after Becky, Chelsea bandmate Mike Brand's wife, who often called during practices. Criss later received a People's Choice Award for the track, which was heavily tweaked and arranged by producer Bob Ezrin for the Destroyer album sessions, which would have been 1976. Mm-hmm. Despite the fact that Criss is listed as a writer along with Pendridge and Ezrin in the song's official credits, Stanley claims the drummer had little to do with its creation. Peter, and I quote, Peter can't write a song because Peter doesn't play an instrument, end quote, Stanley told Rolling Stone. Quote again, Pendridge came up with came with Beth, I Hear You Calling. Peter had nothing to do with it because if you write one hit song, you should be able to write two. That's the reality. Devastating. It's the truth. It's a lifeline that Peter hung on to validate himself, but it wasn't based on reality. End quote, Stanley said. Told Rolling Stone. Paul is so full of fucking shit. Because as a lead singer of the band, he never got to write the hit. That's his problem. They hate the fact that I wrote a hit record and won a People's Choice Award, end quote, countered Chris.
In a 2000 interview, Pendridge was asked how Beck was written and how much of it Peter was really responsible for, if any. Beck was written almost word for word from Mike's band responses to his wife's constant calls that interrupted our rehearsals. Pendridge explained, it got to the point where I wrote down the remarks over a period of 3 or 4 days in what I called my wizard book. It was merely a small notebook I carried to jot down silly sayings, sketch in anything to save ideas. If you look at the lyrics and view them as a hen-pecked hubby's remarks to his nagging wife, you'll see what I mean. Just pause after every sentence and pretend there's a bitch at the other end of the line. You'll catch it, I'm sure. He added
that was by Stan. What was the name again?
It was Stan Pendridge. Yeah, Pendridge. So Stan Pendridge.
Yeah.
Yes. So
fuck.
Yeah. He added, Peter was absolutely not responsible for it at all. Another poor man's copyright by me in 70.
So the Kiss biography is directed by DJ Viola. Chronicles of Van's 5 decades in the business as founder Paul Stanley and Gene Simmons reflect on her historic career. Current members Tommy Thayer and Eric Singer, as well as guest Dave Grohl, Nirvana, Foo Fighters, Tom Morello, Rage Against the Machine, manager Dot McGee, music producer Bob Ezra and Alice Cooper, Pink Floyd and Kiss, and more tell the wild story of the most successful and influential band in the world. Anyways, yeah, so that was part of the thing with Ezra, though, Tom, is see when he heard when Peter brought the song Beck to him, he thought it was about Jeff Beck.
Yeah.
Who was a great guitar player at the time. And he's like, no, we're gonna need to change that to Beth.
Did you read what
Mark? You guys hear about WWF wrestler Mr. Wonderful?
Mark Orndorff.
Paul Orndorff. No, I didn't.
I read a headline on it saying that he had passed away at 75.
Motherfucker, really?
Yeah.
God damn it. Her.
What?
You read an article on it and you didn't mention it to me.
It was scrolling through Facebook. I didn't know how true it was. So
usually when you see something like that, you're like,
I hadn't woken you up yet. This was about 1:15 this afternoon.
That'd be a reason to wake my ass up.
Okay, I'm sorry.
We're talking about WWF. I mean, come on. Mr. Wonderful. I mean, hello.
I'm sorry.
I grew up in the 80s.
I'm sorry.
I grew up with that fucking wrestling.
I'm sorry.
Hulk Hogan.
I know.
Piper.
I know. Andre the Giant. I know.
Yeah, man.
Sorry.
Jake Snake.
Yeah.
Macho Man.
Yeah. Honky Tonk Man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jimmy Hart.
Yeah. So.
Oh, well, see, me and DB are both the same way. We both just found out in the chat.
Anyway, back to answering Tom's question about Beck.
Yeah, so, yeah, it was actually written about that guy's wife, Becky, but because it was called Beck, Bob Ezra was afraid that it would sound like Kiss is singing about Jeff Beck.
Yes.
Oh, gosh, I don't want to take those bets.
I don't either.
Almost thought we lost Ric Flair a few years ago. Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's it,
Uh-huh.
Like, who is next?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like eventually, I mean, I hate to say this, but, eventually Gene and Paul, Peter Ace, they're going to be gone.
Yeah, they are.
You know, and eventually Motley Crue's going to be gone.
Yeah, I know.
You know, and then eventually, you know, the newer bands are going to start getting in that age bracket where, you know, do you still continue to tour?
Yeah.
You know, yeah, you know, you're still putting on great shows. Then I say tour. If you can't put on, okay, if you can put on a great show minus your lead singer sucks ass in the show, then I say you can still fucking tour, but maybe go back and get your fucking lead singer from 1994.
Yeah.
Anyways, this is not about. See, we've got to go on. We got to definitely do a Crue one, another one.
Yes,
I only touched on the like 81 era of Motley Crue. We just need to do one where I just because I probably will lambaste me. It's so fucking bad.
I know you will.
Fucking alcoholic. Sorry.
I know. I'm not arguing with you.
Anyways, all right. So they
Okay, so they basically
okay.
After the Wicked Lester epic fell, is what I call it.
Gene decides he's going to go up to university and try to create a new band.
Uh-huh.
Paul decides he's going to tag along.
Yeah.
Because as Paul put, I needed Gene and Gene needed me. I think that's what he thinks. And then if not, I didn't care about Gene because it was all about me. And then Gene goes, it was a comical. It was a comical, but you can tell that these guys, I mean, even Paul said, you know, for him and Gene, they're like brothers. They are brothers.
Yeah.
You know, they're bond, and they've been together for so long now. It's actually stronger than blood.
Yeah.
So I mean,
yeah,
it makes sense.
It does.
But they read an article or an ad in the newspaper. The recycler, no, not recycler. That was fucking L.A. The Village.
The Village, yeah.
Where Peter Criss had left an ad as a drummer. Uh-huh. So Gene, well, actually at this point here, wait, before that, they decided to change their fucking names.
Yeah.
Because
they didn't want to go by their names, which
well, Gene's first name was
Heinz
Fitz, I think.
Uh-huh.
We didn't write it down. And Paul was Stanley Eisen.
Yeah.
And so they're like, and so Paul
went to his parents and said, I'm going to change my name. Well, he said that
years ago.
Yeah. He went to his parents.
I did the same thing.
And said he was going to change his name. And then so they said, well, Paul, Stanley Eisen and.
Well, yeah, he was Stanley Eisen and he changed it to Paul Stanley.
Well, they didn't think that their birth names would make.
Right. I mean,
great.
It was like you said. I mean, think of it this way. You know, you wanted the best. You got the best. The hottest band in the world, starring or with Stanley Eisen. And they just don't have that.
No, don't have it.
And I think it's Hein Fitz.
I think it is.
Now you gotta look.
Yeah. So Paul Stanley changed. Well, Paul changed his name to just Paul Stanley, and then Gene took on Gene Simmons.
And literally, it was boom, just came up with it.
Yeah. So.
Hein Witz.
Yeah.
Witz.
It's Hein Witz.
That's
yeah.
what I thought. It's Witz.
Witz, because yeah.
You gotta remember W's over C or V's.
V's, yeah. Hein Witz.
Anyways. Yeah. So. Anyways. So yeah, but Gene changes his. You know, Hein changes his straight to Gene Simmons. Paul becomes Paul Stanley.
Yeah.
And so now we have it. So they find Gene ends up using a payphone. For you kids that don't know, these used to be phone booths.
And they took
you had
quarters.
To put coins. No, that was back then. Dimes.
Dimes, yeah. And so you see him put the dime in the.
In our day, it was fucking quarters.
Yeah. You see him put the money currency
right.
in
Anyways,
the phone.
He calls Peter Criss.
Hold on, you're missing a whole thing. Just before they call Peter, they go over how Peter was working with many different bands on music in New York on their music strip, and said that if he didn't make it with Kiss, he's not going to make it at all. So,
well, yeah, but that was before he was in Kiss.
Yeah.
So I mean, really, I think they prematurely added that in there.
Yeah, but he said
It should have been done something after they had called him.
Yeah, and so Gene says, "Can I please speak to Peter, Chris?"
Exactly, Tom. Superheroes with changes.
Yes. I don't remember how to pronounce Peter Chris's full name. But
Chris Cola.
Chris Cola. May I please speak with Peter Chris Cola? So then he speaks with him, and he comes in.
No. You're missing the one thing, because then Gene says, "Would you be willing to put
wear
makeup on, wear makeup, dress, wear high or platform boots?" And Peter's like, "Yeah." So they go, and they think they're going to be a trifecta.
Yeah.
Or like the Who. It worked for the Who. It worked for Jimi Hendrix. But something was still missing. So then Paul decides to put an ad in the Village.
Yes.
Voice, and he wants to put this
guitars wanted
with flash and balls. However, you could not put the word balls in a fucking ad back then. So it became with flash and ability.
Yes.
So they had this fucking huge audition. All these guitar players come in. The last kid that shows up, he walks in just carrying his gear and shit. And then he and Paul notices, first thing he notices is he's wearing one orange shoe
and one red shoe.
And then the kid plugs in and they play what, Strutter?
Yeah.
Deuce.
Deuce, yeah.
When they jam out, and that, as Paul said, it didn't sound, the sound wasn't quite there yet, but something sonically was there.
And then as Gene's put it, it's like falling in love. When you find something, you fall in love with it.
Well, no, when you fall in love, when you fall in love, you know when you really fall in love.
Yeah.
You finally learn the difference between lust and love.
Yeah.
My lust for Carrie Fisher, Princess Leia and Lita Ford was lust.
Yeah. And so he says, you just know it's there.
Oh, is it?
I don't know. Let's find out.
Anyways, can you continue on or no?
So then they got to come up with a name. They got to promote themselves from the clothing to.
Well, Paul came up with the name Kiss because like a deadly kiss.
Yeah.
And then they decided that they first tried to dress up like New York dolls. Well,
as Paul so put it.
No, as Gene put it.
They look like linebackers.
No, okay, you're right. That was Paul. I thought you were going the other one first, where Gene says, "I was 6 foot whatever."
Yeah, he was 6 foot whatever and 200 pounds, and he says,
"I just don't look good in drag."
Yeah, and so he says, some people can pull it off, but other people can't. But back up a little bit, they were looking at the New York Doll. They were listening to New York Dolls, and both of them says like the way they look, but their music kind of didn't fit with them real well, and says we can outdo them. So then the whole dress and drag thing came up, and so finally Paul says we look like a bunch of linebackers in drag, and so then they had to figure out, well, what can we do now? So then comes this idea. Let's go to Woolsworth, which was I believe
department store back in the day.
Yeah, department store back in the day to buy clown makeup.
Okay, real quick, we're going to sidebar back into
Tom's questions about Peter.
So Peter Criss was born in Brooklyn, New York. He's the oldest. His father's family came from Scafata, Salerno, Italy.
Oh.
Did I say Italy wrong?
No, it's Italy.
Yeah, it's not.
It's Italy because it's Italian.
Yeah. Italian. Wait, Italian.
It's
oh my
Italian.
God. I'm fucking it up again. Yeah, you're right. Italian.
Italian, yeah.
I want some fucking, legit fucking homemade Italian food, dude.
I know.
Anyways. All right.
So.
Welcome, Stone Bleeds.
Yeah.
So they go in and they buy the clown makeup,
mm-hmm.
and they start messing around with the makeup, trying to figure out, and eventually they came up with their alternate selves.
Yeah. So
Gene got his idea from Phantom of the Opera. He said when he first saw that movie, it scared the living hell out of him when they unmasked the Phantom.
yeah.
So that's where he. And the thing is one thing we didn't really touch on, but as they were showing younger photos of Gene and Paul, when Gene was probably about 13, he started that evil look.
Yeah.
He started getting that look that we would all recognize as the demon look.
Yeah.
You know, or even if you saw in the movies with Gene Simmons when he played a bad guy, he had that look.
Uh-huh.
And so Gene went with the family opera.
Yeah.
Ace was definitely had a spaceman influence.
Yes, he did. And then Paul, since he was picked on and didn't feel so and bullied,
Right.
he wanted to be a star, confident person.
But let's go to it first, though. You remember what him and Gene were talking about? His first attempt at the makeup.
Yeah, it was 2 stars.
No, you missed it. No, his first attempt was a fucking circle like Petey.
Yeah, from
the dog from fucking Little Rascals.
Yeah.
And it was Ace who said, "No, you're the front man. You're out front. You should be you're the rock star."
Yeah.
And so Ace told him to do 2 stars, but Paul, because of the messed up ear,
and his face was asymmetrical,
he decided to go to 1 star.
Yeah.
And became Star Child.
Yeah.
And then
Peter, his makeup came from a cat.
Well, he loves cats.
Yeah, he loves cats, and the idea they have 9 lives.
And he believed he had 9 lives.
Yeah. So, and then from there, once they got the makeup, they not only created themselves, but they also had to create their clothes and their name.
Right. And
so
then
their first T-shirt was just a black T-shirt.
Okay, hold it though. Okay, because now you're getting into the logo, and this is the one thing I was not happy they didn't touch on in this documentary.
Okay.
Was the fact that they didn't touch on the fact that Ace created the logo.
Yeah.
It wasn't something Gene, Paul, or Peter came up. That was Ace's logo.
Yeah.
It's been said for years. And again, it wasn't touched on.
No.
Was it not touched on because of the fact Ace is not in the fucking show?
Yeah.
So anyways, then they make their own t-shirts. Hello?
Yeah.
I'm getting back to where you were making the t-shirts.
Well, you were continuing, so I was just going to let you continue.
Hand off, pass the ball.
I dropped the ball.
Obviously.
So there was no touchdown.
Must be a goddamn fucking Patriots fan dropping the ball.
Excuse me?
You heard me.
Anyway, so their first T-shirt was a black T-shirt with glitter on it with Kiss on the front.
Right. With the logo. And so they literally started playing clubs, yet Paul made the comment that they were always felt like they were on stage at Madison Square Garden.
Yeah.
So in other words, they already saw themselves bigger than anything.
Yeah.
And they they go back to Electric Lady Studios.
Yes.
This time, Gene and Paul are actually singing backup on different, they didn't say who are, but any artists that needed backup singers, Gene and Paul would sing backup. And in lieu of getting paid, they wanted studio time.
Yes.
And on one condition, this is where they fucked up though.
Uh-huh.
And I know this, but anyway, I'm going to say it. With one condition, they hit Eddie Kramer.
Yes.
Okay. But here's the difference though. Eddie Kramer was not the producer of their demo.
No.
He was not there for the demo. They made it sound like he was. I mean, this is kind of like The Dirt. Motley Crue's Dirt movie, where there's a lot of truth woven in a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah.
And that's the problem I have with, Pete. And I wish Ace and Peter were in this because I think it would have been brought up.
Yeah.
Anyways, so they send out their demo.
Yeah.
Nothing. No hits.
No.
So they get hooked up with this guy named Bill Coyne.
Yep.
He understood. He got it, but he wasn't a music manager.
Uh-huh.
He was a film, we're movie stars and film people.
Yeah, he did.
Anyways, he told them, give me 2 weeks. I'll be your manager for 2 weeks. If I can't get you a deal, you don't owe me no money. We'll call it a wash.
Yeah.
And he goes to Neil Bogart, who is creating Casablanca Records.
Yes.
Signs Kiss as his first act.
Yes.
So they released the first Kiss album.
Yes.
Sell, 60,000 copies?
I believe so.
What they said?
Yeah.
So kind of Not a good start.
No.
But they go on tour.
Touch on something else.
Good.
Before they go on tour, Beauregard wants them to live their characters and not.
No. That was a coin.
Oh, okay.
That was a coin. You're right. I missed that part. Right. Bill Coin came up with the idea of, he came up with the stage show.
Yeah.
He came up with the fact that Peter's drum set would rise. He brought, next time they went to go visit Bill Coin, they had a guy in there who spit fire and said, yeah, actually, no, I'm not ahead of myself yet. Because I was on the second album, was Firehouse was on the first album. Never mind. I am ahead of myself. So they wanted one of the guys to spit fire, which ended up being Gene. And yeah, Bill Coin also said, and the other thing, you're right. I think it was Neil Bogart.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. He's the one that came up. He said, you never see Marilyn Monroe without makeup on. Bitcoin. But you never see Marilyn Monroe without makeup. So that's what he told Kiss. Hey, never want to see them without makeup.
Yeah.
So they get their first tour put together, 200 friggin' shows.
Yep.
In a year.
Yeah.
And as Paul Stanley said, our parents took us to the airport, what they thought was going to be a summer vacation, but for us, it ended up turning into a whorehouse.
It did.
Uh-oh. Tom. Actually, I can't get on him for that because I have done that in the past.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things that's easy to do. I did it for years.
Uh-huh.
I mean, my first almost 10 years, 10 years as an adult, I'd forget my mom's birthday. There you go. Kel's got the right idea. Quick, make her a cute video and sing to her.
Yes.
There you go. But yeah, no, my first 10, 15 years of being an adult, I always forget my mom's birthday. I guess it wouldn't be 15 years because Hannah would have been, But yeah, I've done it. I've done it a lot. And I always love it too because, but what she would always do too is by the end of the night, she'd call me up and say, "Did you forget something today?" But was I supposed to call you? No, I don't remember.
Sing her kiss.
Christine, 16. But yeah, no, yeah. I mean, I've been there. I forgot. I've definitely forgot. But yeah, so swing back into it. So yeah, Bill Coin and Neil Bogart came up with all these fucking ideas for Kiss.
Uh-huh. And Kiss,
including staying in their fucking makeup.
Yeah, and Kiss
never
thought
being
it was
filmed without their makeup on.
Yeah, and so Kiss thought it was the thing to do. So that nothing was said about it.
So obviously they're on this first tour and they're trying to do encores because as Kiss, as everybody knows, their live show is what Kiss got known for in the 70s.
Yes.
But they're being opening acts and they're starting to piss off the headliners.
Yes, they are because the
fans are there for the headliners. But then
Kiss comes on as an opening act
and blows them off the fucking stage.
Yeah.
Literally.
So they keep doing this and end up getting kicked off.
Well, before they start getting kicked off, like their first tour, the headliner would actually pull the fucking plug.
Yeah.
On their power source.
Yeah.
Until their tour manager, Kiss's tour manager, had a Bowie knife, held it to the tour manager of the headlining act, stuck him in a fucking road case, and locked it so they couldn't cut the fucking power.
Yeah. So they figured out the power was still on, so they did an encore.
So as they kept, as they moved across the country and finally got to the West Coast, all of a sudden now they had no one they could tour with.
No.
Because they kept getting kicked off tours.
Yeah.
And Neil Bogart, who was losing money.
Yeah, because
at this time they did release their second album.
Yeah, because they were releasing albums, but there was no hits.
They're not getting hits. They're not getting a lot of plays. I mean, Casablanca Records is losing money.
Yeah.
Losing a lot of money.
Yeah, and their stage shows just
because
kept
at that
getting
time
bigger and bigger.
Right. Well, before the stage shows get bigger and bigger, because at that time record labels didn't get shit from
Concerts
tickets.
No.
Which I guess now record labels get money from the concert tickets.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
Yeah, I agree.
Anyways, my opinion.
But anyway, so they
Fuck
were
the
losing
labels.
money. The record company was losing money, and as they were losing money and getting further and further into debt, Kiss's shows started getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Right. And so what happened was he told them to tone it down to not get kicked off any more tours. And Gene's like, okay, so what pretty much like Gene mentioned this was, so you put a lamb out in an area, and then you bring a tiger out to it. But you tell the tiger, don't rip his throat out. Right.
Yeah.
And that's what they kept doing. They just kept blowing the fucking opening acts off stage.
Yeah.
You know, they just kept blowing the opening acts, or the headlining acts off stage.
Yeah. And so by the time they got over to California, I believe it was San Francisco.
Well, what ended up, they had one of their big, again, they're still opening by then.
Yeah.
They're still on a few opening acts. But what happens is, because they can't hold a tour, stay on a tour, the record company can't afford to pay for the tour because it's getting, like you said, bigger and bigger. More pyro, more antics, more, everything's starting to become a Kiss show.
Yeah.
What we know as a Kiss show. And so Bill Aucoin uses his American Express card and pretty much maxes it out, paying for the tour.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So then they go back in to record a third album.
Which I believe this was about the Dress to Kill
This
era.
is the Dress to Kill album.
Yes.
And Neil Bogart went to Bill and said, hey, they need a fucking hit.
Yeah.
They need an anthem.
Yeah. I mean, you need to tell us who you are. We don't know who you are. This group and this group all had anthems. I can't remember the group's names. I'm sorry. But they're
irrelevant at this point.
Yeah. But we need something that describes Kiss. So then they get together, and Gene, believe it was either Gene or Paul. One of them had a song that dealt with the car and girls.
It was Gene.
And then Paul
Paul had pretty much how we're talking about Rock and Roll All Night. Okay. Pretty much it was two songs, one side written by Gene, one side written by Paul, that they messed together. That became Rock and Roll All Night.
Yeah. Which was then their anthem, but again, it was not a hit. It was what they call a turntable hit.
Right. Again, it wasn't getting radio play.
No. And so as they made the album for this, the album cover, not a one of them owned a suit.
No, because Bill Aucoin he bought their suits, didn't he?
No, he had a closet full of suits.
Oh, okay.
That they actually borrowed, and everybody but Paul had shoes, and all of Paul's shoes had 8-inch heels, so he had to wear his dad's shoes.
Right. So, and also at this time, because the stage shows, now they're going to be headliners.
Yeah.
And this is going to lead up to one of the biggest albums. So again, they're going out on tour, they're blowing everything up, they're selling out shows.
Yeah.
But again, they're not
making money.
The record label's not making money.
No. And so
and really, and overall, it's at one point they even said, we're only making $75 a week.
Yeah.
The band was only making $75. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Man, times were definitely different compared to the 80s.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Oh yeah. So then by this time, and I think this is where you're going. If not, you can interrupt me.
No, go ahead.
By this time, there was some dirty dealing going on with the record company with people that are not so highly recognized, and we'll leave it at that.
This is okay. So the Neil Bogart was in the hole so fucking much, and being from New York City,
the mafia,
he had a few friends. He knew a few people.
Yes. Just a few.
The wrong people.
Yeah.
So he goes and takes a few loans
from the wrong people
to keep Casablanca Records going.
Yeah, and kept saying, "Give me a few months. I'll have your payment returned to you."
Well, now he's on Aucoin.
Yeah.
Wanting Bill Aucoin, hey man, we need somehow. They gotta give me. I need something. Because he's about ready to get his fucking legs broken and probably wear some cement shoes.
Yeah.
In the bottom of New York Harbor.
Yeah.
I don't know what they call it up there. So my bad. I just said New York Harbor. But I'm sure he is about to wear some cement shoes.
Yeah. So then
So they go on tour, and Bill Aucoin's like starts talking to Gene and Paul, and they're like, how do we get this sound that you guys do live onto a record? How do we get the live show, the live experience onto a record? Well, they decided they want to do a live record. Now, mind you, record company's out of money.
Yeah.
The record company's mainly on fucking
lifeline of their
not lifeline. They're on the money of they're on the gangster money.
Yeah, exactly.
They're on the mob money.
Yeah. And
at the same time, they record this album.
Yes.
And obviously they even talk about it, you don't want to hear constantly missing notes and stuff like that. So they did finally, after all these fucking years of Alive One, being told that Alive One, there was no edit ever done on this.
They came out and said
they finally admitted it, that they did go back into the studio and fix parts that were missing, or where you couldn't hear something, or where notes were missing in a guitar part.
Yes.
You know what the funny part is?
What?
Minus a few crazy ass Kiss Army fans, most of us already knew this.
Oh yeah.
It's just that for them to finally admit it.
Yeah.
Like, really, guys? We've known this forever.
Yeah.
Except for a few kids, oh no, they never did that. No. That's how they play. And then when you start seeing the video shows from those shows that were supposed to be like from Cobo Hall in Detroit, and all these different shows where these sessions were taken from, and you go watch those videos where you don't have the overdubs. Also, like, okay, where's that? Okay, wait, that's Paul. You can't even hear Paul singing this line, but his mouth's moving. But you can't hear him sing. But on the album, you can hear him. It was like Judas Priest.
Yeah.
When I got their Priest live album, there's this part in Breaking the Law where it gives a nice little guitar part, guitar note. When I actually got the video of that same fucking concert, it wasn't there.
Yeah.
I went, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
So I was, and that's part of the reason why Motley Crue never wanted to do live albums.
Yeah.
Because they wanted, you get what you get.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
They don't want to go back in and fix it.
Yeah. We did forget to touch on something though earlier.
What did we forget to touch on?
That VCR tape that Paul was sitting there dancing on stage, and that because of that videotape, that's how they got their moves that they still use today.
Well, right. You're right. Back in the early days, a guy, Delaney, I can't remember his first name right now, but he set up a video camera, filmed the guys about 30 feet away, and that's when Paul realized, okay, we need to, I need to get bigger on stage, and this was actually back in the club days, so it wasn't even, arena yet. And then that's where they started doing that thing where Paul and Gene would do the rocking back and forth, and then eventually Ace got involved in it. And as Paul said, we still do it today.
So,
anyways, so they recorded a live one. The record company, Neil Bogart, wants it.
Yeah.
And he owes money to Kiss.
Yeah. Well, didn't Kramer produce that a live album? Eddie Kramer?
Probably.
Because I know they had like 28 feet. They got every tape machine they possibly could with 28 feet of tape trying to make this sound good.
Right. And then again, they still went back and overdubbed it.
But before you hit on the radio rights.
I'm not getting on the radio rights. Well, radio rights?
Well, the money that was owed, wasn't that just as that thing happened at Terre Haute, Indiana? Where the Kiss Army came to the radio station? Because there was somebody that called in as a Kiss fan, told the radio station to play Kiss, or the Kiss Army's going to come invade your...
No.
Oh, okay.
That's not yet. No, that's after Alive comes out. That's why we're getting there.
Okay.
Calm down. Easy, Turbo. Pump and brakes.
Okay, go.
You're getting the heart way, you're getting further ahead. So, Kiss is owed money. They want their Ow, damn it.
Anyway, they want their money.
Just so you know, you probably can't see it on the camera. I bruised up the fucking my knuckles really bad.
Yeah, so
of course I hit my fucking knuckles and says pain through it.
So then
anyways, Neil Bogart, Casablanca, they want the tape. They want the Alive tape.
Yeah.
So they can make it into the record and get it pressed and get it sold, right? And Kiss is like, nah, we want our money.
Yeah. And that's when
Bogart kind of went off on Gene and Paul and the boys and said, you don't know who you're fucking dealing with.
Yeah. Give me those records or
and that's when they kind of learned, okay,
yeah,
this has got to deal with the mob.
Yeah, and so they still didn't give up the records though until they got their money.
No, they made sure they got money out of it.
Yeah.
Then they gave up the tape.
Uh-huh.
Because it was pretty much the master tape.
Yeah.
They gave up the tape. They pressed it. Again, it still didn't take off.
No.
Didn't take off right away. And then we get Terre Haute, Indiana.
But what started that was there was a Kiss fan that called into this radio station, which was basically just a brick building in the middle of farmland with an antenna.
It is all over the place.
Yeah, is how Gene described it. And he called this radio station in Terre Haute, Indiana, saying, play some Kiss or you're going to have a Kiss Army invasion. Well, the radio DJ thought it was a joke. It was a joke, so he never played Kiss. Well, he found out that it was not a joke.
No, about 20,000 people fucking showed up at the radio station.
Yep, and as Gene and Paul said, that was voluntary, and that's how the Kiss Army became.
That's exactly how the Kiss Army started.
So
there was summers in there, but anyways, yeah. So, I guess it was before Live One. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I thought about it. Yeah, it was played rock and roll all night. That's what it was.
Yeah.
But anyways, what ends up coming hit off of Live One is the live version of Rock and Roll All Night.
Yeah.
So again, finally the record company gets saved, and all of a sudden, so then they're trying to figure out how can we do this? How can we make that sound go to a record? A studio album.
Yeah.
So they bring in Bob Ezrin.
Yep. Now we're going into the Destroyer era.
1976.
Yep.
Bob comes in and he's got all these different ideas. Bob's worked with Alice Cooper. He's had a few big hit albums before that with different artists.
And as he said, I'm just going to paraphrase what he said, I knew what I was doing, so I knew I'd be a perfect fit for Kiss.
Right. He taught, as Paul Stanley said, he taught Kiss how to, use a piano to get a deeper sound.
And he also used a whistle on him too.
Right. Anytime they got out of the after they got done with the
takes.
No, when they were or they weren't hitting it right, he fucking blow a whistle to get their attention. Now at this point, you hear from Ace Frehley who says Bob was a dictator.
Yeah.
But then you hear from Gene and Paul who sit there and say,
no, Paul and I liked going back to rock and roll school.
Right.
So.
Right. And it's what it was. They went back to rock and roll school. Peter, according to Gene and Paul, Peter and Ace didn't like it. But pretty much I got it was that Ace didn't like it.
Yeah.
So, again, you start, and this is where Ace starts really living the rock star lifestyle.
Yeah.
He's supposed to come in and do guitar solos.
He never shows
Gene
up.
calls up, hey, man, we need you down here for a guitar solo. Oh, hey, man, no, I got a card game coming up. I got a card game I'm at.
Yeah.
Or going to. I can't make it.
Yeah.
So then they start bringing in other guitar players.
Yes.
Also, Bob Ezrin is the one who came up with the whole guitar solo for Detroit Rock City.
Yes.
He sung it to Ace and told him to play it.
Yeah.
And so he did.
Yeah.
And Ace didn't like that.
No, he didn't.
Also, Bob Ezrin was very well into America's Cup of Coffee.
Yes, because you could in the 70s you could find it all over the place in
especially
New York.
New York.
I mean,
And I guarantee LA too.
Well, they were just touching on
I know,
New York.
well, because they were in New York.
So as he so kindly put it, your dentist had it. I mean, it was just readily available anywhere you wanted, and I mean, it was even available to rock stars if they wanted
Right,
it.
and we're talking about the powdered cocaine.
Yeah.
And so Peter Criss started doing cocaine.
Yep.
To keep up with Ezrin.
Yep.
Which Peter Criss said he couldn't do that.
Yep.
Paul wasn't worried about Ezrin because Ezrin still was
a functioning addict, as he called it.
A functioning addict. I mean, and the story ended up being a good album anyway. So I mean, what can you say?
Yeah.
However, as Paul said, I think Paul has, in his earlier days, he did smoke a little marijuana here and there, but him and Gene and Paul pretty much aren't heavy drinkers.
No.
And they're not, and they don't touch the drugs.
No, they don't.
They couldn't figure out why these two members of KISS
were
doing this.
Yeah.
However, I look at it, I mean, again, it's like Edwin said, Ace was living the fucking rock star lifestyle.
Yeah, he was.
I mean, that's the rock star lifestyle.
Yeah.
You know, it really is.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't get in a rock band thinking how much money you're going to make. You think about, just like Gene, and I forgot to bring this up earlier, you know, when Paul mentioned the whorehouse, you know, they went on the whorehouse tour, pretty much their first tour, was the fact that girls were throwing themselves all over them. You didn't know their names.
Yeah.
But you were getting, you know, as Gene said, I like this job.
Yeah. And to a person that always had to chase girls, now girls are chasing him.
That was Paul.
Paul, yeah.
Paul said that.
Yeah.
So yeah. And I mean, if you say you're getting into the music business to make money, you're fucking a fool.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
For guys, you're in it for two reasons: to get laid, get a bunch of pussy, and get as much alcohol and drugs as you can.
Yeah.
It's the truth.
I know.
I wasn't worried about, I didn't give a fuck about wanting number one hits. I wanted to see if mainly I just want all the drugs.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
It is.
It is, Tom.
It is. It's America's cup of coffee.
Yeah.
So and again, this is where we're getting the story about Beth. Obviously, we don't hear the song Beth at all because, again, Peter Criss wouldn't allow it to happen.
Yeah.
And what ends up happening is across America, on the backside of Detroit Rock City is Beth.
Yeah.
DJs, for some reason, somewhere across America, some kid said, hey, or some girl, I want you to play Beth.
Yeah.
So they flipped it over, played Beth, and all of a sudden DJs across America started doing that.
Yes.
Hence why it won the People's Choice Award.
Yeah.
In 1976, and became a huge hit. Shot Destroyer through the roof.
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden they found out that what it was like to be in Beatlemania.
Yeah, and it was out of their control, and they were having a hard time dealing with it, basically.
Especially Ace and Peter continued to start using, getting medicated more and more.
Yeah.
For Peter, it was, how do I take the live show to my hotel room?
And so he says,
so how do I keep the adrenaline going from being on the stage back to my hotel room, instead of saying, how do I go from this ultimate high to now shutting it down? He wanted to keep it going.
Yeah, and so that's when he started into the partying.
He really got hard into the partying. Ace was getting drunk.
Yeah.
And I don't really think Ace really delved into drugs itself, but he was, in the drug of alcohol.
Yeah.
So
then comes the roller coaster.
Right. Now they skip over a few albums here, which I don't like.
I know, because I thought there was a lot.
Because they skip over, they barely touch on Love Gun.
Yeah.
They talk a little bit about Alive 2.
Mm-hmm.
But they really don't talk about everything that went on with Alive 2.
Yeah.
And because Alive 2 also has brand new songs on it.
Yeah, it does.
Studio songs.
Yeah.
Which Alive 1 didn't.
Yeah.
Because in Alive 2, they only used the songs that you hadn't heard from Live 1.
Yeah.
They didn't record the full show.
No.
They only recorded what was from pretty much the story on Love Gun.
Yeah.
For Live 2. Then you had Rock and Roll Over.
Uh-huh.
Then we get into probably right around Alive 2 and Love Gun, Casablanca Records changes their format.
Yes.
And they start signing all the disco artists.
Yes. And so at
Donna Summer.
Yeah.
And so pretty much at this point, Kiss becomes
Kiss is trying to change.
Second fiddle.
Yeah. And Kiss is trying to go with the disco music.
Well, no. That's before they try to do that.
Yeah.
This is before they try to do that. Gene and Paul are getting pissed about it. Ace and Peter are becoming less and less involved.
Yeah, because before this, they were so big that Kiss Army fans were naming their kids after their songs.
Right. I mean, the Kiss Army is so huge, like Paul or Gene mentioned, people get their faces tattooed on their fucking arms, and it's true.
Yeah, and naming their kids after their songs.
Right. After the songs, after them.
Yeah. And so then the Casablanca changes their format. Like you said, puts Kiss's second fiddle and starts going into this disco era thing.
So was Paul like, well, wait a minute, this disco shit ain't that hard to write.
Yeah.
So let me go write a disco hit.
Yeah.
And he did. He wrote, I Was Made for Loving You.
Yeah.
Which Gene was not happy about the song.
No.
But as far as Ace goes, and this is another thing they don't even touch on, but I'm going to mention it because Ace had Shocked Me.
Yeah.
Which became a big hit or was his kind of big contribution to Love Gun, and it was a fan favorite that now Ace had to have a song on the album.
Yeah.
So when we get to Dynasty, he did 2000 Man.
Yeah.
But again, the band's falling apart. Peter Criss on Dynasty, I believe, is only on one song. If I remember looking at the credit, the liner notes, he's not, I believe at this point, but they don't mention it. So they end right here with this really Kiss is falling apart.
Yeah.
The fame got to them. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. They did touch on the solo albums.
They did, but they also touched on the merchandising too.
Oh my God. Well, the merchandising is when Kiss went from being a rock and roll band to Ringling Brothers, as Paul put it.
Well, yeah, because
when they did that merchandise, I mean, besides the part of putting their blood in that first comic,
yeah.
I mean, you had lunch pills, pinball machine. I mean, you had
radios. Yeah, Kiss radios. So basically,
dolls.
Yeah. So basically, what he said is, like you said, they became a Ringling Brothers circus, and they were a cross of circus and disco.
Right. Well, no, I mean, it wasn't. This was even before the disco, though.
Yeah, it was a cross
because
Disney. That's what it was. Cross, but yeah,
Ringling Brothers and Disney. Because I mean, now they look out their, Paul look out the motel room, and down below he'd see grandmothers with
2-year-olds
with their grandbabies, mothers with their little children.
Yeah.
And this is not what it was about.
No.
Rock music's not about that young generation.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But again, that's but yeah, they touch on the solo albums mainly because Peter's ready to leave the band.
Yeah.
Because he thinks he can, because of the success of Beth.
Yeah.
Which Hard Luck Woman did not become a success for him.
No.
It was not a very successful song. But because of the success of Beth, he thinks he's been held back in Kiss, says he can go write a better solo album than Kiss could ever put out.
Yeah, so
they decided to all four of them do a fucking solo album.
Because Gene says, well, you can have your cake and eat it too. Let's all do solo albums.
So, and they released them all on the same day.
Yeah. Which
has got to be the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard in my life.
Oh, I know.
4 fucking brand new albums.
Yeah.
On one day.
Yeah.
So what you been drinking?
Nothing but water.
Yeah. Sure.
Nothing but water.
Vodka's clear. I know we got vodka.
I didn't put vodka in here.
Does anybody believe her? Anyways. So yeah, so it ends up we're just gonna kind of cut off. I mean, it's sad to see what happened to Kiss at this point.
Anyway, so at this point, like you said,
I do remember that Tom. That was for the Kiss My Ass album that came out in the 90s. And the only way Garth Brooks would do that cover was he had to have Gene, Paul, and I believe it was also Bruce and Eric Senior. In other words, he wanted Kiss as his backup band.
Yeah, he did.
And he got it.
Yeah.
He got it.
Yeah.
And that, I mean, that song fits. Hard Luck Woman fit Garth Brooks.
It did.
Because of the fact that it's not one of those, but I mean, again, let's talk about, if you want to talk about it, Garth Brooks, one of his biggest bands, his fandom was of Kiss.
Yeah, it was.
So
it was.
He just knew he couldn't sing like them. So he had to do he knew he had to go the country music road.
Oh yeah.
He had a voice for country music.
Yeah.
Which.
Yeah. So yeah.
I mean, hell. We want to get on that. I mean, hell. He also sung a song by that was written by Steven Tyler and Joe Perry.
Yeah, he did.
About bull riding.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
Yeah.
Didn't realize fucking Steven Tyler and Joe Perry could write a song like that.
Yeah.
Anyways, it's not about Garth Brooks.
Yeah. So
about Kiss.
Yeah. So anyway, at this point, you can see the riff that's
it's
happened.
a big fucking. The riff started back in. Honestly, see, I think. I can't say that because with all the books recently, like Paul's autobiography based in music and stuff, we got to know more of when the riffs really started. It was around Destroyer.
Yeah.
It was when Bob Ezrin came in, and see what Kel says?
Yes.
No, that's true. Yeah. Well, I mean, we're gonna have to do an episode where we talk about the 90s country scene.
Yes.
Because that's when country music changed.
Yes, and that also comes back to we got to still do that episode on the Garth story too.
I know we talked about, what was that, like 2 years ago?
Yeah.
A year ago?
A year ago when we still haven't done it.
Because we haven't watched it.
Yeah, so we got to watch that one.
We're on Kiss right now.
Back to Kiss.
So I totally forgot where the fuck I was at. We're getting tongue farted.
So anyway, with the rift in the band at this time.
Yeah, it started back in Destroyer. It started with it's on Netflix, Kel. I think if we're talking about Garth Brooks thing.
Yeah, it's on Netflix.
It's on Netflix.
Anyway, so like you said, the rift in the band started back in Destroyer era, and it just got wider and wider and wider. So it just got to the point that by the time the first part of this ended, it was Chris Gaines. Yes.
I had that CD.
Yeah, I know.
I actually had that. And all right, we're getting off. All right, sidebar for a minute. Your sister is funny. Your sister saw the music video for one of those fucking songs. For one of those songs off that album, right? The Life and Times of Chris Gaines or some shit like that. I don't remember.
It's called The Life and Times of Chris Gaines.
It's supposed to be a fucking movie that never happened for Garth Brooks, okay? She saw a music video for it and she told me, "You're not gonna like it." Okay. I believed her. She was my wife.
Yeah.
So I decided not to get it. Well, later on at FYE, I found a copy of it. It was brand new, unopened. I bought it. Went back and listened to it. I was like, what the fuck would I want to like about this?
Uh-huh.
It's good. Sure, it's not country, but it still got.
I liked it.
Yeah. Anyway.
I like that one. Anyway, so then they never mind. Anyway, so the rift is so
back to Kiss.
Yeah, back to Kiss. So the rift is so bad that even on I can't remember that Halloween interview show that they did.
Oh, night son of a bitch. God damn it. We actually found it on YouTube.
Yeah. Anyway, with that
they did a Halloween special where Ace showed up drunk.
I mean, he was just drunk and
just drunk off his ass, and Gene and Paul are trying to play nice, but you could just see, like, a lot of times when they go back to Gene's face, he's just, oh God,
disgusted. He was disgusted.
I think he wanted to pop fucking Ace's head off.
I think so. And so then
pop that shit like a pimple.
Yeah. So then
yeah, I think that was like 78.
Yeah, 78, I believe. Because we're on the tail end of this now, on the tail end of the first part of it, I think.
Right. Yeah, we are.
So then,
well, yeah, it's like we got in this. We were talking about. We said 79. So I mean,
yeah. So then they touched on this Halloween talk show interview with Tom.
I think it was Tom Snyder.
Yeah, Tom Snyder. That's what it was. And so when it ended, well, I don't know if this is when it ended, but I know Paul had made the comment that by this time, due to the disco era, not only did their wardrobe look like
they changed
a Disney character, but they were, I mean, their music wasn't what it was originally.
Well, no, I mean,
to be.
Go. Yeah, thank you. On Halloween, October 99 was nearly as missionary. I was 10 miles from where they were playing, and I could not go. Oh, that would suck.
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, when you're on that mission, you're not really allowed to do that kind of stuff.
But anyway, they said that they look like basically a Disney cartoon character.
You can't do that stuff on your P days, can you?
I don't know.
You can't go to concerts on your P days, can you?
I don't know. I don't know.
All I know is your brother when he went. I mean, just to sidetrack again, when he did his mission up in Buffalo, New York, and he was up there during the Watkins Glen weekend, and he got to see Jeff Gordon's show car. And for some reason, he thought his sister was a Jeff Gordon fan.
Yeah, I know he did.
But your sister was Dale Earnhardt Jr. fan. I was a Jeff Gordon fan. Bless you.
That's what I was afraid of.
Anyways.
So yeah, but yeah, that was Thomas's mission.
Yeah, your brother Thomas, which is kind of ironic.
Yeah.
But he was born in the 80s.
He was born in 82, March 4th, 1982.
Then you just said that live on air.
Yes, I know I did. Bless you. Thank you, Cal.
So anyways,
yeah.
So we're getting to the point where we're now where this ends, we're getting to the point where Peter Criss is going to leave.
Yes, we are.
And Tom says nope. That's what I figured on PDs. I know PDs are personal names, but it's still not allowed to go.
My youngest brother was born in 82.
Well, technically, her brother Thomas is her youngest brother too.
Yeah.
He's the baby of the family.
He is.
That's funny. But yeah, so we're getting into the rift.
The rift.
The big rift.
Yeah, the big huge rift
where we end up with new members in makeup.
Yeah.
But this stops right at the end of 79.
Yeah, it does.
It doesn't go into 1980 where we get into the Unmasked album.
Yeah.
Which will still be technically Peter Criss, but not.
But not Peter Criss, yeah.
Because Peter Criss did not play drums on that album at all.
No. Anton
Fig came in and played drums because he played drums for Paul Stanley on Paul Stanley's solo album.
Yeah, he did.
But this shit was not mentioned during the biography. You know, our neighbor's got his crotch record going.
Yeah.
But this wasn't not named. None of this.
No.
They didn't talk about all the extra players that came in and played, all the extra people who played guitar parts, all the extra players who played drums on all these different albums.
No.
You know, because either Peter couldn't play drums or didn't want to, and Ace didn't want to partake either.
Yeah. So yeah, I
mean, they brought in guys like Bob Kulick, Anton Fig, like I mentioned, and Bob Kulick is Bruce Kulick's older brother. So I mean, that's kind of ironic, you know. Bob would play the.
Sounds like our next door neighbor over here's got his going.
Sweet. We're gonna have both of our neighbors with their motorcycles going. Yeah, I want a fucking Harley.
Oh heck yeah!
Anyways, we're not talking about Harleys.
But anyways.
Oh no, her younger brother in 85.
Still a good year though.
Yeah, Cedar Pink came out that year.
Yes, it did.
See, as far as the 80s go, you can throw. I mean, if you throw a year out to me, it's either going to deal with Motley Crue or I can remember an album that was released in that year.
I know.
Anyways,
so just to kind of wrap this up, yeah, we're going into the second part of it.
Let's tie the bow on this bitch.
Yeah, we're going to tie the bow. We've gotten to the point now by the end of part one of the huge rift that will ultimately split the original Kiss up.
Right.
And so So now what we'll do is we'll go ahead and watch part 2 because we haven't watched it yet, and we'll do another separate episode on part 2 next week. Yeah, next week.
But before you get there, let's. Okay, for you not being, you pretty much knew of Kiss, but you really didn't hear Kiss until when? When did you finally hear Kiss music? Because you said you knew of them, but you didn't know.
I don't remember when I heard it. I do remember hearing the song Beth, though.
Okay, well.
But I don't remember.
You don't recall what year?
No, I don't recall what year.
That's fine.
Like I said, Beth was the first song I heard by him, and I really liked it. And like I said, I knew of their characters. I knew of Kiss. I just didn't know of their songs.
Okay. Anyways, so for you, this was probably pretty informative.
It was.
You didn't like, like once I became Kiss, got into Kiss, I started learning their back catalog, and then I started learning their history, at least through interviews with Ace, Peter, and then Paul and Gene, Bruce Kulick, Benny Vincent. I started looking up, when I bought magazines, I get interviews, so I got to learn stuff. Yeah. Learn at least at what they were teaching at that time, or giving you in the interviews, and so I got to learn about Kiss. So for me, as far as this autobiography goes, at least part 1 goes, nothing jaw-dropping.
I found it really informative. I learned a lot.
Nothing, as somebody who knew a lot about Kiss, I think a lot of Kiss fans were expecting something big to come out of it.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess the biggest thing that came out of it was they finally admitted to fucking
the overdubs
on Live One.
Live One. Yeah.
But other than that, there was really nothing groundbreaking that said, "Oh, damn, I didn't know that."
Yeah. Well, that I can understand it from
But you're a newer fan.
Let me finish here.
I'm sorry.
from a person, if you follow Kiss, about them, what their whole issues were, then yeah, you would, in a way, you would disagree that nothing big came out of it. But on the flip side of the coin, for someone like me who only knew of them, knew of the characters, knew of the paint, knew of maybe one song by him, this was really informative for me.
Okay.
Of how exactly how they came together, what split them apart, how they actually ultimately came up with their characters.
Right. And Kel said right here, she found it really informative and learned a lot.
Yeah.
And I mean, Kiss is not everybody's cup of tea.
No, it's not. But for those of us that like it.
Then again, I mean, I'm just gonna throw this out there though. Without Kiss,
there wouldn't be the music.
Well, okay, here we go. Without Kiss, we don't have Motley Crue.
No.
Or at least we don't have Tommy Lee.
No.
Okay, Tommy Lee wanted to play drums after listening to the Live One.
Yeah.
After listening to the Live One, Tommy Lee went and set up pots and pans and beat the hell out of them until his parents finally bought him a goddamn drum set.
Yeah.
So we went and had Tommy Lee. So that, I mean, might still had some style of Motley Crue, but probably not.
I'll probably have to
dip out soon as Richard.
Maybe calling.
All right, go.
All
right, Matt. Stonebleeds. Thanks for coming in, though. We appreciate it.
Yes, thank you, Stonebleeds.
And Dimebag.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And Vinnie Paul, huge fucking Kiss fans.
Oh yeah.
I mean, Dime was buried in a fucking Kiss casket.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So, I mean, I know Dave, our good guy from, our great guy from the Sidebar Cantina. I know he went like this when it was meant, he had to mention that we were doing a Kiss show, right? And like, okay, whatever. But okay, dude, but without him, do we have Dimebag?
No.
Do we have Pantera?
No.
Do we have even like I said, Motley Crue? Do we have Poison? We have Cinderella. We have, a lot of that shit that came out of the 80s, which then, I mean, honestly, if we didn't have the 80s,
then we wouldn't have.
Then you wouldn't have the grunge.
No. So, yeah.
But then again, I look at a lot of the grunge, and I mean, I can still go back and I'll listen to Bleach, Nirvana's yeah, I think it's Nirvana. Yeah, it is their first album or the second album. No, it's the first one. Second one's Nevermind. I think I don't remember. Fuck. Anyways, I listen to Bleach and I hear a punk band.
Yeah.
I hear more punk, and really, I hear more punk even in a lot of Nevermind.
Yeah.
And it's probably why I ended up liking Nirvana.
Yeah.
As far as Pearl Jam went,
yeah,
that's my feeling about. I mean, Dave's feeling about Kiss is that I have that same feeling about Pearl Jam.
Yeah.
Now, is that a 50-year-old or almost a 50-year-old Pearl Jam, or for me, being almost 50? No. I had not listened to Pearl Jam since they first came out.
Yeah.
I didn't care for that. Didn't care for their album. That album 10. I didn't care for it.
Yeah.
But I mean, I loved Nirvana. I loved Alice in Chains. I loved friggin' Stone Temple Pilots. I was into those fucking bands.
I love the action.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Tom McFarlane did the
action figures.
Kiss action figures. McFarlane also did some for Motley Crue too.
Yeah.
Tom, which I wish I would have got. They were all from the Shout the Devil era.
Yeah.
And then Kel grunge is my thing, right?
Yeah.
And that's the thing is, I know a lot for me, like my 90s changed a lot because I did go through a country music phase.
Yes, you did.
And it wasn't a lot of it had to do with a lot of the stuff I was listening to at the time, from the 90s was really getting dark.
Yeah.
And deep and really depressing.
Yeah.
Well, here I am already. I've got depression issues. I am borderline suicidal most of the time. You know this.
Oh yeah, I know.
And especially these back then, and I was definitely higher. I still needed my uplifting music, right?
Yeah. But
I've learned to now where I can listen, because I mean, even Motley Crue's '94 album, would put me in anger mode.
Yeah.
Not because it was without Vince Neil, it's because the album was angry.
Yeah.
I listened to, Pantera, and it would bring my anger out. There's literally a song called Fucking Hostile. Yeah. That was my theme song.
Yeah.
And I let the music affect me really bad.
Oh yeah.
So I had to change not only for myself, but I had to change for my children.
Yeah.
I
find Pearl Jam to be overrated.
I like the 10 album. That's about it. Kel, and I think what turns me off on a lot of bands are I mean, like I said, I need to listen to Pearl Jam again now, because I like Kim even notices.
Yeah.
My musical tastes have really, really changed, or not. They haven't really changed a lot, but I find myself liking stuff that even in the 80s I didn't care for. Like, let's real quick before we'll end this show. I liked a few songs off of Cinderella's second album, One Cold Winter, but I hated that fucking song.
Well, yeah.
The title track, I hated it. And it was all fucking, bluesy, and I mean, it felt like it drug on and on and on. And then later, 10 years ago, I finally listened to that song.
Yeah.
5 to 10 years ago, I finally listened to that song for the first time. And it's like, in a long time, and like, fuck, this song's good.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And so I know my musical tastes have changed a lot.
Uh-huh.
And I mean, don't get me wrong, I still love all my stuff from the 80s, but a lot of the stuff where I maybe didn't like it even originally in the 80s, I come to find out I like it more now.
The Kiss.
Really, Tom, what was really what the neat thing about Kiss during that era is, they had Revenge come out in '92, which was pretty much their claim back to fame.
Yeah, it was.
It was back to being a great, one of their bigger albums. Just like, because it was produced by Bob Ezrin.
Yeah, it was.
So it was literally get back in touch with the guy from Destroyer. And, then of course, Eric Sr., or they start doing these there was these kids conventions going on, and we'll get into the. Let's just table that until next week.
Yeah, let's table it. Till
We
next
don't
week.
need. I see. This is my knowledge. I. This is why.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, and that's why I think it's funny. Like today, or when my kids are growing up, they couldn't bring nothing to me that made me go, ew.
Yeah.
Because I enjoy so much different music that, they were into Britney. Hannah was into Britney. She was into NSYNC and Backstreet Boys, and even your sister liked them because she was younger. Your sister was very young, and she was 18 when we got married.
Yeah.
And so she was in that age bracket, and I think that's where her and Hannah kind of, got together really well because it was a friendship.
Yeah, it was.
She was able to be friends with Hannah, and she was young enough to understand when Hannah became a teenager. She really understood what Hannah was going through.
Yeah.
And so that's great.
Yeah.
But Cycle Circus comic. I never did get a comic. I had the album, the original copy of it that had the 3D front to it. It was pretty cool. Don't have the jewel case for it anymore because they put everything in books.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff I want to get back. I want to kind of go back and listen to. I definitely want to check out Pearl Jam 10.
Yeah.
Just to listen to it. I mean, a lot, like I was trying to say with it is a lot of my problems with artists is when a song gets overplayed, I hate it.
Well, yeah.
And it takes me years from stop hating it. I mean, today I still loathe Don't Worry, Be Happy.
Yeah.
I'd rather listen. I mean, honestly, back in, I don't remember what year it was, but the Bob and Tom show, they had a song, pretty much a Weird Al version made of Kokomo called Camel Toe. And I'd rather listen to the Camel Toe song than Kokomo. I'm serious.
I know.
I'd rather listen to fucking Camel Toe than Kokomo. And I love the Beach Boys.
Yeah.
But Kokomo got played too much.
Well, yeah, it got way overplayed.
It's just like when you get, and we get in like the Shania Twain era, whose bed have your boots been under? And Any Man of Mine, like, fuck, good God, the songs got played forever. Oh, too much.
Well, yeah, of course we were.
But then again, being stuck in, or being in Battle Mountain, where we only had one fucking radio station.
We
came out of Winnemucca, it was fucking country.
Yeah. We had the unfortunate experience of having these overplayed to where both of us hated it.
Yeah.
And another one that was overplayed too was Boot Scoot, or no.
Who's better? No, Boot Scoot Boogie?
No, it wasn't that one. It was
Brooks and Dunn.
No, it was another one I'm thinking of. Achy Breaky Heart. That was the other one. That was the other one that was very, very, very much overplayed.
You mentioned Achy Breaky Heart, and the first thing that pops in my head is a fucking Weird Al version. Don't play that song, that nauseating song, the most annoying song I know. And if you play that song, that Achy Breaky song, I might blow up my radio. Ooh.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that was another one that was severely overplayed.
Dude, if I'm listening to Achy Breaky Heart, I'm putting in fucking Weird Al's version. That is the only way I'm listening to that fucking song.
And that album had other really good songs on it.
Right, yeah, you had good songs, but they didn't play them.
No.
And that's the problem with the radio era.
They oversaturated one song.
It was even the same with music videos.
Yeah.
I mean, why did there become a Motley Crue rule on MTV? Because fucking Home Sweet Home kept getting goddamn requested so much that MTV finally said they had to put a stop to it being played.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, well, it's just like another one I like to do to you, because you like the new kids, right? And off their one album, Hanging Tough, they have a song called "The Right Stuff."
Yeah,
you got the right stuff, right?
Yeah.
And and of course, Weird Al did a fucking remake called "The White Stuff." It's about fucking Oreo cookies.
Yeah, don't
play that song, that achy breaky song. The most annoying song I know.
Yeah.
Oh God, I love Weird Al. Love Weird Al.
Yeah.
We gotta do some Weird Al episodes.
We do.
We've got to do Weird Al episode.
Yeah, we do.
That's the only, out of everyone. I mean, I finally got to see Motley Crue in 2005. I fucking never got a chance to see Kiss. Maybe things will work out. We'll get one chance to see, even though it's not the original members. Maybe we'll get one more chance to see them on this final road tour once they get back on tour.
Yeah.
Finishing it. Maybe we can try to make a show in either LA or San Diego or fucking Phoenix.
Oh, yeah.
I definitely want to see Kiss at least once just to see him blow the fucking stage up.
Oh, I do too.
The only other guy I wish I would have got to see in person live, fucking Weird Al.
Oh, yeah.
Just because he does, because especially now, he puts all those fucking costumes on.
Oh, yeah.
He puts most of the costumes on from, like, when he does the Fat song, Michael Jackson's Bad. Fat. He puts on the fat suit.
Yeah.
I love it.
Oh, yeah.
Like, fuck yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I would love to see Weird Al.
Oh, yeah.
Matter of fact, maybe I would put a thing out to Taco and Tune and say, hey, get Weird Al Yankovic, motherfuckers.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, you got to see Up One. I would probably die if fucking Weird Al Yankovic showed up for that.
Oh, yeah.
It'd be a good weekend. Tacos and Tunes.
Yeah.
Because he did do that. Oh, my God. We've got to do a Weird Al episode because now I'm thinking of the taco song. He fucking did that song by Rico Suave, right? Right? But he called it Taco.
Yeah.
Taco Suave or some shit like that. Ah, damn, I could go on about all the fucking songs he did.
I know.
This song is just 6 words long. 6 words long. All right, fuck it. Let's get out of here.
All right.
As you see, next Tuesday night, we're going to do part 2 live here on YouTube and also on Facebook.
Yes.
But also, I know I didn't put it, so that'll be episode 111. 110 will be obviously our next racing podcast.
Yes.
Which will be the
New Hampshire
British Grand Prix and
for
Kim's favorite race at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. I'm sure they're going to have traction compound on it too. Shut up. Hush.
His brother Matt's a Weird Al expert.
Sweet.
Nice.
But until then, have a great Tuesday evening. As Kel says, yes, right there. Good night, friends. Tom, get home from work. Tom, you have a great night at work too, by the way. And hopefully DB and Kelly are not dealing with any fucking tornado warnings tonight.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. And we do thank Matt for jumping in, or Stonebleed for jumping in also. Also, Hector who jumped in.
And Don who jumped in.
Yep, Don jumped in. Yes.
And Hannah.
It's like DB is saying, everybody have a great week. We'll see you in the chat. Tune in tomorrow night to the Escape Pod.
It's usually about around.
I don't know. No, I know it's around. It's 7-ish. I mean, it's about 7:05 on YouTube, Eastern Standard Time, or Eastern Daylight Time. Motherfucker.
Yeah.
See, I've lived in Arizona too long now.
Tacos Grande.
Tacos Grande. Thank you, Tom. That's the Weird Al song.
Fingers crossed.
Okay. Anyways, I don't remember what the fucking damn it. Anyways, check out the Escape Pod tomorrow night. I'm sure they got whatever taco they're doing. They're gonna. You made it, Colby, and we're leaving. They're kind of late, son. You're what's the term? A
dollar short and a day
late and a dollar short. Oh shit. Anyways, next Tuesday, 5 a.m. Eastern, 2 a.m. on the Pacific Coast, 3 p.m. in Boise.
Yes.
We do that for Tom.
Yeah, 3 a.m. Boise.
And that'll be our next racing podcast. Better late than never. Says
That's
Colby.
True.
And then next Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern, we'll do part 2. I says part 1. My fucking bad. I copied it and I didn't fucking fix it. Well, it's part 2. We know how this fucking shit works.
Yes, part 2 of history.
Yep.
So.
Oh shit! Fucking keyboard's not even there. Keyboard's not there. I don't have a keyboard set up. Kim, what are you doing? Hit delete or back to and number 2. 2 right here.
Oh, here. Oh, here.
Oh, no, we ain't doing Joey Logano.
Then let me backspace it. There.
All right, I almost hit there. All right, now it's legit. There we go. Now it's fixed. Okay, Kim had to make sure we were fixed.
Yes.
All right, guys. Anyways, have a great night. Have a great work week. Great friggin' weekend. If you watch the Escape Pod, that's tomorrow night on YouTube at 7:05 Eastern or 7:05 Eastern. And next Monday, check out the Sidebar Cantina.
Yes.
And DB and Kelly, when you all get ready to do your podcast, let us know. And we'll definitely have to have you guys on. We've said that about Don and Brady we haven't done. And we've said that about Dave we haven't done. But hey, we will have Kelly and Tom on, or Kelly and DB on. And also we're going to have Tom on to talk about hatred of BYU.
Yes.
But we want to do that more closer to the football season.
Yes.
So anyways, until next week. I gotta get my finger in the camera. Peace.
Peace.
I'm getting fucking bunny rabbit ears anymore. Good night, guys.
Good night.